Hello everybody, and welcome to today's video on battle formations, setting up your line for various types of enemies. I approach battles in a very systematic way, so I have a strategy for Ancient Undead, or I have a strategy for Necrosavant fights, or I have a strategy for Goblin fights. I kind of do these in the same way almost every time. For good or for bad, some people like diversity, I like to win, so I have found strategies that I find very effective against various groups of enemies. And after a few viewers, after my favorite orc fight of 2021 video, asked me about how to use formations, I'm going to make a couple of videos on formations. This is the first one, talking about how I just attempt to strategize and play out in every single type of enemy fight, except for like beasts and raiders and shit. So most of the general ones that don't just require running forward. So let's take a look at those right now. Yes, we are doing this in Microsoft Paint. We're doing this like football plays, and obviously there isn't a Battle Brothers football plays website. So, first off, we have goblins. Now, goblins, especially with a shaman, shamans love to root you, so they're incredibly fucking annoying. And rooting can take up like 5 of your team. It can get, like, if there was a dude on this hill here, it would get 3 and 2. That's how many people can be rooted. So, the way to minimize how many people get rooted, which is the main issue in a goblin fight, because if you get half your team rooted in a line and then half of them can move forward and not, that's a problem. We use this formation right here. I saw something similar, or maybe it was something, maybe it was this. There's something very similar in like a stream highlight from Filthy Robot, so I've adapted it. I only saw like one thing, so I'm not going to claim this is my idea, but I don't know how much he does it, and if he does it very frequently, just getting that out there. What we do is we use 2, 4, 4, and 2. Now, the shaman will almost certainly never root the 4 people here. Or, sorry, the 2 people on the side. So these 2 will never get rooted, and these 2 will never get rooted. Virtually never. We'll just say never. Which means he'll either root these 4 or these 4. Which means, at most, 4 of your team is rooted, and not 5. Typically, if you're all in a line, you get 5 rooted, and you can't choose who. Here, you can kind of play around who gets rooted. Like, I put my, 2 of my mammoths here are in these blocks of 4. So that means that 3 of them are going to be damage dealers. So almost 3 damage dealers are getting rooted. Now, I also put shields in the front. You could go all shields in the front, or sometimes I don't. I have like a 2-hander here, a couple of 2-handers here. We'll just do whatever I think is right for the battle if I'm not worried about them taking armor damage or HP damage, and I'm not too worried. Sometimes someone will just get like poisoned 5 times in a row, and that's a problem. I also have no Nimble Brothers on this campaign because this was my first campaign, and I'm like, Nimble's bad. So it's all Battle Forge, just makes me more likely to just put people in the front. Now, deciding on who goes in these formations here, I like putting at least, the really big damage dealers I probably don't want to put here. I like to give unless I have a Fencer, the Fencer should get Goblin Trinket. But if I don't have a Fencer, I like to give my Goblin Trinket to a Mammoth, which is my word for a tank. Some people say like Mega or just Tank or whatever the hell. Because he likely can't, he has like 60 melee attacks, so he likely can't break out of roots very quickly. It'll just take him forever. So if he can't get rooted, at most 3 people can get rooted. And then he can break other people out on his turn, so they have full AP to move forward. Now, this is the same with or without formations. There really isn't a difference. You use this formation to avoid getting rooted, and then you just kind of run at the goblins and kill them. Obviously, don't run into like multiple goblins with like puncture. Don't run into like a concave kind of goblin thing alone. Don't go on like low ground in front of puncturing goblins. Kind of a problem. Focus the shaman here. Like if I could move some pole arms up and then hit him here. Like if you have pole arms in the front line, they can move forward 4 and then move forward 2 and then hit the guy behind the wall. That's good. Goblins, shamans first priority. Then it's the overseer. Alright, now next let's take a look at some chosen fights. Alright, now we're going to start using some football plays. The scariest thing about barbarian fights are the unholds, because the unholds can break your line. Let's say you're this dude right here. If the unhold is right here, what the unhold can do is he can throw you this way. And then he's behind you, and then he can move forward and break your line. It's a real fucking problem with unholds. So we're going to erase paint, you son of a bitch. Okay. Alright, so let's put the unholds in blue, I guess. So the unholds, we are still in brush tool. This guy is going to come up like 1, 2, 3 tiles here. So he'll be on this tile. This guy will come up to like this tile and this tile. But this guy's too far away, so he's going to do something else. Now, the first thing you have to do before you do anything else is you have to get on the unholds with your mammoths. That is just undeniably the truth. And you have to indom on them. What you do now is you kind of have to tank with your front line. And this is, again, my strategy, is you tank with your front line. So, this dude right here, he doesn't have Pathfinder, so he can't move forward 2 tiles and still indom. And that's bad. So, this dude right here in the yellow, he's going to rotate with the mammoth. And then this mammoth can walk 1, walk 2, and then this mammoth, the mammoths can be green, can be in this position right here, and indom, and keep these 2 guys stuck forever. Same thing with this guy. He has to walk through snow and forward. So this guy could walk up and rotate, or he could rotate right here, and this guy's going to go 1, 2. He's probably actually not going to go on this tile. If he went on this like brown tile, he's only blocking 1. Because he's, like, the funeral pyre is, like, so you don't need to block the funeral pyre. So instead, he's going to go up 1, 2, he's going to go this position, right here. So now he's blocking the unhold that's up top of the funeral pyre, and then whatever the fuck is this unit right here, this other blue unit. So now they're both blocking 2 units, and they're exerting really good zone of control. Now what is this top guy going to do? He's going to not engage, because we have 1 more unhold to worry about. This unhold is probably going to run some bullshit over, like, here. And wherever that unhold engages, this guy, he could spear wall against the Chosen until then. But he is going to eventually have to... Oh, that was a pretty bad circle. He's going to have to get on that unhold. Wherever that unhold ends up being, this is the guy to do it. So this is the thing that I would worry about. Now, if you can't get on most of the unholds... Like, if, like, let's say all the barbarians run up first and you can't get on them, your whole team is actually going to fall back. You're going to fall back, and you're going to do this again. You're going to fall back until the unholds can get forward, and you can get on the unholds. If you have to kill a couple of reavers to do that, that's okay, but you have to get on these unholds. So now, the unholds are effectively actually out of the fight, because you will just indom on your mammoths until they need to recover. Then you'll recover, hope you don't get punched, then you'll just indom again. And that works. So now, what do you have to deal with next? You have to deal with the Chosen. So some of the Chosen might get locked onto the mammoths. We'll see. But the next thing I'm going to do is... let's make my front line... let's make my front line yellow. My front line is now going to try and, like, hold positions kind of like this. You don't want to ever be adjacent to these mammoths, because... if they don't have indom, the unholds will throw. The unholds will not throw if there's nobody adjacent to you. They can still punch you back, but they won't ever throw you. So my front line, I kind of make 2 little front lines. We'll have like a front line kind of like maybe here, here, and here. Maybe with like with a back liner behind them. And then we'll say this is where this mammoth ends up. Probably like here and here and here. We set up little interior lines. You could be a little smarter and maybe try and do like this kind of thing, where you just put the 2 mammoths in front and then hold side to side. I don't do that. I'm not discounting that as a strategy, but what I do is I typically try and go over here. My backline, my hybrids all would hopefully have Pathfinder. If they're level 11, they're gonna have Pathfinder. If they're taking this fight, hopefully they're level 11. And I have a lot of whips, like my bannerman. I just took this fight, so there would be a bannerman in here. I just like found this screenshot. So if there was a bannerman, the bannerman would have a whip. This guy with the cleaver has a whip. This dude with the cleaver has a whip. So you're trying to get as many whips as possible. You disarm the Chosen. You have to worry about rotates. Be cautious of where the AI is going to rotate. Like, a guy could run forward and rotate and the guy behind him. That's a whole problem. But then you're really just kind of dealing with a little bit of barbarian shit on either side. Some of the barbarians are going to start throwing, like these guys will start throwing weapons, and that's not going to be a huge issue. The other guys are gonna get stuck on the mammoth. Like this guy will get stuck. Maybe this guy will rotate. There will be like another one here, and they'll rotate with each other. So you really kind of just fight on two little fronts here, and then you can taunt with the mammoths if anyone gets next to you and you're like adjacent to both tiles. This is how I attempt to do barbarian fights. And next, let's look at Undead. Alright, Undead there's various types of Undead fights. There's ones with Necromancers, there's ones with Geists, there's Neither, there's Nachos. Nachos are the only ones where it, like, might be slightly different in how you take it, but generally, if there's a Necromancer, or Geists, I'm going to do the very same tactic. It was going to be moving up 3 tiles forward. Now, a lot of people like to either wait or they move back, and there's a time and place for that, but I think specifically with Geists, I want to move 3 tiles forward, and with a Necromancer, this also helps me greatly. So, what color were our front line was yellow. Okay. So, Geists can move, they have 9 AP, obviously, or whatever the AP, they can move 4 tiles. But their Scream attack is 6. So they can only move 1 tile forward and Scream for a radius of 3. So Geists can move forward 1 and go 1, 2, 3, and they can hit you if you're on this tile, where this like grave is right here. So, they have a really annoying radius. And Geists, which is also really annoying, is if you don't move up, Geists will wait. Like the zombies will move up, and then like the first half of turn 2 they'll pass, and then they'll move up at the second half of turn 2. Which is really annoying if you're already engaged, because then the Geist, like if your front line is all like here, and then the zombie front line is like here, the Geists, which we'll put in purple, will sit like here and here and here, whatever, and then they'll scream at you because this is 3 tiles away, and then you can't do shit about them because you have to kill all these zombies first, and fallen heroes and with revives, and you're never gonna be able to kill the Geists, and that's a pain in the ass. So instead, what you do is you move forward 3 tiles. So let's deal with this dude with the hammer right here. So he goes 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess this is a decent position for him. Actually, what I would probably do is I would take this guy with the cleaver. Probably should have put him over here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's moved up 3 tiles specifically. So this is a cleaver. We'll put a little C in there. That's the cleaver. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3 on this guy with the cleaver, and we'll move him to this tile, and we'll put a little C in there. So these are the 2 cleavers. Now, the other front line, 1, 2, 3, we'll go right there. Probably move this guy like here. Maybe probably move one of them here. This is my front line. And now move up 3 tiles. So zombies have 6 AP, and fallen heroes have 7 AP. Which is actually kind of significant, but the zombies will move up 3. We'll make the zombies, we'll make them light blue again, because that's what the Chosen were. So actually no, we'll make the Geister blue. So what are we going to make zombies? We'll make zombies red. Zombies will move up 1, 2, 3 tiles, and zombies will be here. And the zombies will all be in these kind of tiles, like right here. So they'll move up 3, but they won't ever be able to attack you. So turn 2... this guy with the sword has full AP to like overhead swing, to swing, kill, and then berserk against this guy, so we can hit 1 and 2. The cleavers have 2 attacks to decapitate, and we're not having to pass any of our turns here. So the Geists, though, when you move up, you have to move up. You don't pass turn 1. Turn 1, you have to move forward. You move forward. The Geists who passed will actually move forward now. They will move forward. So the Geists will take up whatever spots are left. I'll make them as light blue. The Geists will move forward. Like, the Geists might move here. A Geist might move, like, here. A Geist might move over, like, here or something. I don't know. Like, whatever spot is actually available, because the zombies will have already moved up. But now your Cleaver dude, your Cleaver, who has a whip, he can whip them. You can whip them. Whip. Whip. Like, you can whip all the fucking Geists, and they have 0 H, or they have 1 HP, or whatever the fuck it is. so you can kill them instantly. It does mean your Cleaver guys aren't decapitating, but nevertheless, you're killing all the Geists. So you move forward 3, zombies run into you, you do a shit ton of damage, and you kill the Geists on like turn 2 or 3 or whatever. You put your Bannerman, let's make the Bannerman, make him like a lighter yellow. You put the Bannerman in the middle. This is your Bannerman. You can tell by the B there. So, your Bannerman, he has a rally range of 4 tiles. Now, if somebody is fleeing, if they are within any of the 4 tiles, they can be rallied. If they're not fleeing, but like wavering or whatever, the chance that they move up a level depends on how close they are to the banner, as far as my understanding goes. So, if you're like 4 tiles away and breaking, and then you might not have a high chance to do it. But if you're 1 tile away and breaking, you're likely to go up to wavering. If you're fleeing and 4 tiles away, you're just as likely as if you're 1 tile away. So point is, with all these Geists everywhere, your line you should never be more than 4 tiles away from your banner. So your banner should be somewhere in the middle, and he's just going to rally a lot. He could whip, but you want to be able to keep the banner ready. So next thing is the Mammoths. They were green. So you really only need like 2 Mammoths. I have 3 just for whatever the fuck's sake. It's a very like frontline heavy fight. So a Mammoth, I put a Mammoth, I actually would probably move him like here to be a Mammoth. This is a tile, probably put the Mammoth like here. Assuming this is in rally range. If this isn't in rally range, then we'll just, you'll put him here or whatever. But you put the Mammoths out to the side a little bit, if that's possible, because now you can get more zombies on the Mammoth. So let's say you put the Mammoth here. He can get 1, 2, 3, 4 zombies, and this one can actually still hit here, so you have to taunt this guy. If you put the Mammoth here, however, 1, it stops any zombies from coming down from the top, and they'll get trapped on him sooner. 2nd, it makes it harder for zombies to run around your team because there's an extra layer. And now you can get 6 zombies on this Mammoth. If there's no Geists, you should move your Mammoth up 4 tiles because you don't have to worry about this shit with the whips or whatever. And you move up 4. Now more zombies will get trapped here before they get to your front line. You kind of create this like enveloping vacuum where you can kill everything in this kill zone. Everything else is like stuck over here or stuck over here. Remember, this is no Geists. And then that works out really well. The middle Mammoth, he kind of just occupies a zone. I would probably put him on... I'd watch out where this fallen hero is, or if there's a fallen hero with a great axe, I would try and like put this guy like wherever that ends up being. So let's get rid of those outer circles because paint sucks. So we'll keep this here, and he'll probably go there. You would go here, and then finally, let's get our favorite friend, the Necrofucker. This is one of my favorite builds. Is usually the other reason you move up 3 on Undead is because let's say this guy wasn't on a hill because that fucks with it. But if you move up 3 tiles on an archer, this is your archer. The archer can quick shot to like this zombie. He can quick shot near quick shot 4 AP. This is your 4 AP shot. He can 4 AP this row right here when you move up 3 forward. So you can just double shot the Necromancer. If you move up 2, you have to aim shot, which you might want to aim shot anyway, but moving up 3 gives you the opportunity to 4-shot AP, and you're moving forward, and it's good for Geists. But better than that, let's get a different pink color, is the Necrofucker build. This is the Necrofucker right here. The Necrofucker is my patented build where you get a guy with a crossbow, or I guess a bow, but I prefer the crossbow myself. And what he will do is he passes on turn 1, all the zombies move in. He runs all the way around to like here. And then, so the Necrofucker gets on like, let's say it's this high ground. This is the Necrofucker. Then NF. And he just bones the Necromancer with his crossbow. If the Necromancer's up here, then he runs all the way around, probably even higher than that. He runs like all the way around and then bones him like this way or whatever. But he will just run around, and he has Pathfinder. The Necrofucker has Pathfinder. I have a build guide for the Necrofucker. And so with this means you can Pathfinder means you can do this on swamp, snow, and forest. So any terrain, you move all the way around, and then you just shoot them, because the AI is kind of smart. Like, it'll guard the they'll guard the front. Like the fallen heroes will guard like this kind of way, like in front of you. But they won't guard behind you. They actually, if you get close enough, they start to they will actually. So stay far away with your crossbow, like 6 range. Maybe you want to be over like back here or like here, whatever it is, far away. Whatever it is, you still shoot the necromancer though. So you only get one. You get like one of these guys. And you move around. Now, what I like to give him, you can give him Geist Trinket in case a Geist goes after him. That's not necessary, though. You could give him, I don't really know. He doesn't really need much. Probably like some sort of resolve. Maybe a dog. Point is, you don't need one of them. All of my backline hybrids, I don't have many in this picture right here, but they all have Pathfinders. They could all do it. So you have one guy here. And then if you have another Necromancer, like up here, like if it's a 2 Necromancer fight, or if the Necromancer spawns where this champion is, you could have this guy run all the way around and do the Necro job either way. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm on the wrong side of the map from the Necromancer. You just have multiple Necrofuckers. And this is how I take down Undead. Next, let's look at really heavy Orc Warrior fights. Now, this looks like a horrifying fight. It's 22 orcs, and there's like 14 plus warriors. Now, if you attempt to regular line battle this, you're going to just get pushed through. You can't possibly indom on your entire front line, especially since the indom nerf, and you can't adrenaline recover anymore. So, you're pretty fucked if you try to do this. So, my plan is to take... You could walk up 2 tiles and spear wall. That's spear wall southwest. You could spear wall here, move up here and spear wall, and that could hold them off. What that would do is make Orc Warriors red. That would just make them kind of run around this way and run around this way, and eventually you'll have to engage them because you're not going to be able to kill the other Orc Warriors quick enough. So let's get rid of that. Instead, what we do is you actually, if you act before the Orc Warriors, this is even better. You actually move up 4 whole tiles. So you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd probably end up like in this tile here. And this guy, let's say I put him on the end like I would normally. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. I would probably end up in this tile right here. I would hope the Warlord doesn't get on me. We'll have to worry about that later. So then, you get 2 mammoth. You have 1 mammoth left. This dude here with the other shield. So, you wait and see what you need to do with him. But by moving forward, actually, I would probably move up this way. I'd probably move up like here, and I would probably still move up here. So what you do here is you get all the Orc Warriors. You get like half the Orc Warriors to get on you. So this guy will move like 1, 2 tiles and go here. This guy might go here. This guy might go here. You get 3. This guy might go like here and here and here and here. So now, that's 7 Orc Warriors that you're down for 2 dudes. And they just indom all the time. And Orc Warriors, they're scary for sure. But if you're in full Battle Forged, or preferably Battle Forged to Nimble so the Cleavers don't fuck you, they like to shield wall. And they'll shield wall and attack you. They're not going to do that much damage if you're indoming, especially. They're actually not that scary. If you get any young on you, that's even better. You could move 1, 2, 3, 4. The young will go before you, almost certainly. So the young will be here. And this last guy, you'll see where is my line weakest. I would probably, if the Warlord starts moving up, I would certainly move this last mammoth onto the Warlord, whoever the Warlord is. But point is, you're down 7 warriors for 2 dudes. So now instead of 10 on 22, it's, or 12 on 22, it's 10 on 15. And 10 on 15 sounds a lot better than 12 on 22, doesn't it? That's like 1 to 1.5 odds versus nearly 1 to 2 odds. And if every time you get like another guy trapped on here or whatever, it's even better. This works with if it's like this many warriors, it's probably not 30 orcs. Maybe it's like 26, 28. But nevertheless, this is what I like to do. And what else would I do? If there's a lot of young, even if there's any young, these young will probably come into make the young orange. The young will be orange. So let's just make this guy's red. The young is orange. The young will probably move up to like this position or this position, or maybe this position or something. The young, you either take this mammoth right here, or whoever has the orc necklace, go here and indom, and they'll charge into you, and they won't stun you. Or you can take your front line, move into them here, and in adrenaline, kill them all before they act. Or I guess what you do is, that's actually probably it. You either indom and let them charge into you, or you have to just run up all the way and then kill them. But what you have to do is you have to kill the orc young as quickly as possible. You have to create a kill zone for the orc young, because what this will do is if you kill all the orc young just go blat, blat, blat. So there's no orc young left. Thank you, paint. These other warriors who were running like this way or whatever, some of them might actually divert over here, and they'll divert over here. So you're not being, so when the warriors come in front of you, so you have 3 of them here, and some of them start running in, especially the warlord will almost certainly probably come like this way. My guess is the warlord would come like this way, or you would kind of come around like there. They're not running around behind you. Like, you don't want to see them run around behind you, which is why we have this mammoth here and this mammoth here. They're not running all the fucking way around. And if they do start doing that, make sure to, especially like the berserkers, make sure to taunt on these mammoths. Now this is again a front-facing battle. So once you kill all the guys in the middle, which you can do, this actually doesn't seem that scary of a fight. It might take a bit, but you can do it. Is you then spread out from the middle. So let's say you occupy this middle zone with your team because you've killed everything in the middle. You send half of your team up to free this mammoth, and you send half of your team down to free that mammoth. If one of them is like close to dying, obviously you send more of them there. Send your third mammoth forward so he can relieve the pressure, whatever the fuck it is. Be smart about it. Don't just be like, oh, you have to send half your team each way. But you should relieve the mammoth at the same time. You shouldn't like win one side and then try and win the other next, because that's just too slow and too taxing on the mammoth that's left behind. And now the other important thing is your hybrids. Let's make the hybrids, let's make them fucking pink. Let's say there's an orc warrior. I've displayed this countless times. So if there's an orc warrior here in this position, and there is your brother in this position, and your hybrid is pink. If your hybrid or your backliner is here, the orc warrior will push through. He'll push your frontliner out, and then he'll swing on your backliner. And that is why we move forward, because your line breaks. So you don't want that. Instead, what you want to do is you want to have your backliner be here. So there's same thing with the unholds. They won't push through if there's no adjacent brother behind the guy in the front. If he's indoming, it doesn't matter, obviously. So, if you have polearm spec or jagged pikes, what you can do is you can move forward, hit, and then you can move back. Move forward, attack, move back. 2, 5, 2 is 9. So you have your full AP, you just move there. Easy money. If you don't have indom, what you have to do is you have to pass your turn. The orc warrior will attack. Then you move up. Then you swing them. Next, you have to end your turn. Next turn, you swing, and then you move back again. But that's pretty sketchy and kind of annoying, especially if you need to get a kill. You might worry about like, do I let this guy like get another 2 attacks, or do I kill him, or do I break my line, or whatever? So just get Pathfinder, or polearm spec, or something on your backline. Which also means I'm not a huge fan of using shit like pole maces, pole hammers, or long axes, because they don't get the 5 AP. But that's just me. So this is very critical against heavy orc warrior fights. Next, let's take a look at some nomads. Alright, I actually just did a video on this fight right here, so if you want to see me fight these 24 nomads, then that video should either have already been out or will be scheduled out very soon, so have fun with that. But nomads are pretty interesting because of pocket sand. That's how I kind of define my playstyle with nomads. Different than raiders. Raiders are you just run forward, don't run into concave. You know, obviously, like if there's like a 1, a 2, and then a 3, don't put your frontliner here so we get swung on 3 times unless he has like a 3 AoE. Like don't do stupid shit like that, but there really isn't like raider tactics. Nomads though, they're kind of are, because the pocket sand debuffs your initiative and your damage. And I know it debuffs your damage, I'm pretty sure it debuffs your initiative as well. So the important thing is here, this is a heavy adrenaline team, but let's pretend it, well, we can maybe pretend it wasn't. So, nomads will like pass their turns. Some of them in this fight, they moved up to like here. Like this guy moved up 1 tile to here. This dude moved up 1 tile to here. And like this dude moved up 1 tile to here. Maybe they'll spear wall as well, but they'll move up a little bit. So what you do is, but they generally keep a front line. So you move your mammoths up 4 tiles. Move them up. Oh wait, okay. Let's try and get this right. This is 1 tile. This is 2 tiles. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this mammoth will be like, here's where I would put him. Here's where I would put this guy. 1, 2, 3, probably like here. And what this does is it means any nomad who moves into these mammoths will be zone of controlled, and then we'll pocket sand him. And I don't care about debuffing damage on a mammoth, because he has a spear and he does no damage anyway. I don't want to get my guy with the whatever the fuck weapon this is, Bardiche damage debuffed, or the mace damage debuffed, or the cleaver damage debuffed, but the shitty spear on the guy who's not attacking, get him damage debuffed all I want. So I put my frontliners behind the mammoths. I might even put a guy like here or something. Behind is my point. So any guy that walks up and gets stuck here can't zone of control onto the front line, and then they can't damage debuff the front line. So you have your mammoths kind of just tank all the pocket sand like this. Similar to the undead thing, where you might get like 6 nomads, or sorry, 6 zombies like surrounded 1 mammoth, so then they just aren't in the fight. Or same with those warriors we just talked about, like changing the number ratio. Same thing with nomads. If you get 3 people who are like all pocket sanding, shield walling, hitting a mammoth, I don't give a fuck. Like, they're not on my front line. With brigands, I don't care. Like, brigands just die so easily, it does not matter. But with these kind of things, this is how I hate this fight. On an adrenaline, this is an adrenaline heavy team. So what I ended up doing is I like bum rushed one of the executioners. But that's kind of, and that played it a little differently, but I did put my mammoths in the front there. Other things to think about, Pathfinder is really, really good because you're on sand all the time. Worry about the archers a bit. I mean, they're more annoying than anything else. Nomad archers are kind of weaker than the marksmen, I would say, because they just do less armor pen. They may do more armor damage because they attack more, but that's about it. There's not much really to think about nomads just because they're the same as brigands, but I think it's worth noting that you want to try and minimize your pocket sand debuff as much as possible. Now let's look at Ancient Undead. Alright, I know this is Monolith, but I couldn't find an actual Ancient Undead save that I had. So, we're gonna pretend these necrosavants weren't here, and there was like a priest. Ancient Undead are brainless because they're undead, but their brainlessness is actually incredibly important to how you play this fight, because they would do the same shit every time. They will move up like 3 tiles, 1, 2, 3. They'll move up to like here. Actually, let's just make this a line. They'll move up to like here on turn 1. So, and this is like 2 tiles away from your team. So anybody with a 4 AP attack weapon can move up. Anybody with a 2-handed weapon can't attack. And you kind of can't do a lot of positioning here because they just move up, literally move up on a line. So you just start line battling them. And that's kind of cool, but not really. Especially if you have a heavy two-handed team, like how many people here likely could you couldn't attack, you couldn't attack, you couldn't attack, you could attack once, you could attack once. You would get like one taunt off, you would get one taunt off. Likely this guy couldn't really do anything. This guy would have a pole arm. Like, he can't really do much. So what you do instead is you back up 2 tiles. The number used to be like backup 3 or backup 1 or whatever. It's backup 2 tiles. The entire team backs up 2 tiles. So just you go like 1, 2, like 1, 2, right into the rocks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. And what this does is it means on the first turn, the enemies will still move up to this line. But then next turn, when your front line is now like, all right, let's get rid of all these little dots. Your front line is now right behind here. Your front line is here. They'll move up 3 tiles again, and the enemy on turn 2 will be right here. This is where the enemy will be, right here. So anybody with a 6 AP weapon can move up 1 tile and attack. Like this guy he can move up 1 tile and attack. If you have a mammoth, what the mammoth can do is he can rotate with 4 AP attack weapons, and then the dudes with 4 AP can attack twice. And then also, you can have your frontliner or your backliners can still like move around the sides a little bit and attack inward on this kind of the line, or move around the sides and attack inward. And you want to break the ends. You want to try and kill as many pole arms as you can, but you can try and break the ends and then kind of like do this way. This is kind of how these fights end up going. You would you break through the middle and on the sides, and then you end up having a northern flank, like a northern block of enemies, and a southern block of enemies, and then you'll just kill them all. And the priest will be the priest will be like, all right, the priest will be pink. The priest will just be like someone here. Like this will be the priest, so you just get on the priest and fucking nuke him. If there are necrosavants, taunt them with your mammoth. Like, what color will necrosavants be? Necrosavants will be this little purple color. Like, taunt them, or they'll be behind you, and then you kill them. This will be a necrosavant, and you kill them. This is actually really, this makes Ancient Undead fights like super fucking easy, because you just do this every single time, and it always works. This literally never fails. Like, to pass your turns, I prefer to pass my turn on a lot of my front line, so that I don't lose it to the fear on the priest. If you think the priest won't fear you, but will miasma you instead, you should end your turn first. Also keeps your initiative up. Taunt the shields with your mammoths. Get the shields down, break them with long axes or great axes or fighting axes. Taunt the pole arms. There's a lot of taunt in this fight. Works very well. Make sure you have your banner, because these guys are fearsome, so they will fuck your line up. Especially nimble dudes, because nimble only has, only takes 1 HP damage, so they'll run through your 120 armor real quick, and then they'll start fearsoming you, and you're pretty screwed. So it's not that hard of a fight unless you start losing to morale, but this is the tactics to do. Everybody moves back 2. If you have ranged weapons, I would just pass my first turn, then move up, I'll shoot, and then move back. I won't even bother to reload later, because ranged weapons do sweet dick all to Ancient Undead. But this is the amazing way to get rid of Ancient Undead. Now let's take a look at necrosavants specifically. Alright, this is taken from my Battle Brothers fight guide, Necrosavants fight. So, and I kind of fast forwarded until the necrosavants show up just for a bit clearer picture. So what we do, I love what I and kind of invented this myself. Just gonna pat myself in the back here. Is you do a 3x2 block, 2 of them with 1 space in between. There's only 1 tile here to go through. Now, what this does is it forces the necrosavants to get around you, and they basically can't escape your grasp. There's no like line where they could just teleport away all the time. They kind of get surrounded by a shit ton. And this is on forest, so the terrain's working against me, and it still works. So what I put a tank here on the end. This guy's got a shield. He's a pseudo tank. Put him on the end here. He's on a corner. He's on a corner. The necrosavants will love to go on corners. I think practically all of them are on corner bros. Granted, there's only like 4 bros that aren't corner bros, but here. This guy that's right here, you can kind of see him like fluttering as either his little wings. He's gonna end up right here. So necrosavants were this purple color. They were right here. So this is the last necrosavant. So you get 3 of them on this guy, 1 guy on this corner. This is on a corner, bro. This is on a corner, bro, and this is on a corner, bro. Right here. That's what 3, 6, 8. Yeah. Okay. So now what you do is you have everybody. Basically, everybody can hit either through rotates or pole arms or what. Everybody can hit a necrosavant on turn 1. The banner will wait. He'll disarm one of them. Hopefully, you can kill one. I have 3 mammoths, so that's 1 taunt, 2 taunt, probably like 3 taunt, 4 taunt, 5 taunt, 6 taunt. We'll try and like kill this one because he's at half health. Maybe try and kill this one. Disarm one of them. So we're really down to 1 necrosavant in turn 2. At most 2 necrosavants, and one of them is probably on 9 lives. So you kill necrosavants so quickly here. If you have nets, it's even easier. I don't really use nets, but I should, and you should use them for these fights. In this way, if they move in the middle here, if a necrosavant's in the middle, they get beaten from both sides. This guy can come out, and then they're surrounded again. Try and keep in this box formation. I put my hybrids and the banner, like the weaker dudes, in the middle so they don't get surrounded like this. The necrosavants will love to move around, especially when they get taunted. But this fight was like 6 rounds. You can watch the end screen of this. It's a very, very quick video. And I kicked the shit out of these necrosavants. It was very, very easy. Even with 8 of them. And so if sometimes there's ancient like auxiliaries or whatever the fuck, like it'll be like 8 necrosavants and 12 auxiliaries. You actually keep the same formation. And the auxiliaries will make them red. Well, they'll do their bullshit where they just move up like this. You could back up 2 on your whole team if you want to. Auxiliaries suck enough to where it doesn't really matter. Like they'll probably start like surrounding you here. Focus the necrosavants if you can, obviously. Like this guy would probably just berserk kill rather than like try and rotate and hit a necrosavant. But nevertheless, the tactics remain the same. You just do this 3x2, 3x2 with 1 in the middle. It's kind of similar to the goblin formation in a way. And then you win, because the necrosavants can't be in a place where they can't be hit by multiple dudes. So you can always, if one guy, you're never relying on one guy to kill a necrosavant, because you're always being able to hit them with multiple brothers. Alright, everybody, I hope that was really helpful. I kind of like making football plays. That was a little cool. This is, again, probably a part 1 of a little bit of a series of videos where we'll talk about different, like next time we'll probably talk about like trying to use terrain in AP specifically, just trying to, you know, make you move a little more tactically on the battlefield. And I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.